China produces 80% of the formaldehyde, the resins that we use in the world. What is formaldehyde? Everywhere you go in Nigeria, there's a huge demand for particle board, for HDF, for MDF. And yet, the Chinese don't have gas. So they make these products from coal. With all the wood materials that we have, all the wood branches that we waste, you can grind them into wood particles, add resin to it, bam, you have particle board. Bam, you have HDF. Look at UAE, look at Saudi Arabia, look at Qatar. They are not democracies, yet they have intelligence. Their manufacturing industry is growing every year. Ours, we have not even started. I'm not a fan of Dangote because it's a monopoly. But like they say, the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. I applaud him because now he has developed a plant that can produce fertilizer. Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Caesar Osahene Iyayi. I am your advocate for the industrial development of Africa, a process that I continue to insist must begin here in Nigeria. Let's talk about the chemistry of carbon. You know, all the time I've always insisted that because Nigeria has natural gas, that is our primary advantage. The reason I want to emphasize this is that there are products that we could manufacture from gas. Gas already is a source of energy that we can use to generate power by bringing in a combined cycle independent plant that will be located at the source where you have gas to generate maybe 1,000 megawatts of power on the cheap and use that for an industrial complex where you can manufacture various things. But having said that, what else can we use gas for? China produces 80% of the formaldehyde, the resins that we use in the world. Yet formaldehyde is something that we can make from gas. Gas, as it is made up of methane. And methane is the feedstock that you can use to make formaldehyde. What is formaldehyde? Formaldehyde is a chemical substance that you can use as a feedstock to make other products. For example, methanol is made from gas. And what is methanol? It's the simplest form of alcohol. And from that methanol, synthesize it, and you now make the product called resins. Resin is what the Chinese used to make all the particle boards, all the MDF that we used to make all our bathrooms, all our toilets, all our kitchens, all our living rooms. It's used for construction material. You take resins and you grind sawdust, you dry it. You take resins, you grind wood chips. That is what the Chinese use to make MDF, HDF, particle board, all the laminated things that we have. Everywhere you go in Nigeria, there's a huge demand for particle board, for HDF, for MDF. And yet, the Chinese don't have gas. So they make this product from coal. It costs them more money to produce than it will cost us to make it here in Nigeria. Imagine if we are making resins. Don't forget what I said. Let me repeat myself. You take gas, which is made up of methane, you synthesize it. From that process, you make methanol. Don't forget, you have ethanol, which is a form of alcohol that you make from vegetative material, like corn, like wine, like palm wine, for example, like cassava. You break them down and use them to make ethanol, which is the main ingredient in alcohol. That is different. The one that you make from methane, which is gas, is called methanol. That is the area that I'm emphasizing on right now. That if we were to, as a country, put our minds into it, that we want to start producing resins because we have gas. From methane, you make methanol. From methanol, you make formaldehyde. From formaldehyde, you now make resins, which is the stuff that is used to produce MDF, HDF, particle board, plywood, and all the decorative wooden items that you see around us. With all the wood materials that we have, all the wood branches that we waste, you can grind them into wood particles, add resin to it, bam, you have particle board. Bam, you have HDF. You mix it with sawdust, you still have HDF. You have MDF. You have plywood. This is the foundation of all these products. Yet we spend billions and billions every year to import these things. Imagine if we can make them here in Nigeria. We can export to everywhere in Africa, and even export to Europe. Why is that possible? Because we have 250 million people that are looking for work to do. We are particular about the new tax because we cannot think. Imagine if you are producing so many products that you are importing now. The tax we are talking about will create itself. But now, like I said last time, we are trying to squeeze water from iron. $250 billion economy. How much can you squeeze from that in form of taxes? Imagine if it was 3 trillion. You make a fortune. And that is possible because we have gas that we are standing on that we can put efforts into to convert into finished products. Resins is the foundation of plywood. Resins is the foundation of particle board. Resins is the foundation of HDF. Resins is the foundation of MDF. These are all products that we consume every day in Nigeria. We cannot make them because we don't have resins. We have sawdust. We have wood chips. We don't have resins. That is why we can't make these things. Let us focus our mind on how we can use this gas to do these things. Because the gas, it is being wasted in Nigeria. Look at UAE. Look at Saudi Arabia. Look at Qatar. They are not democracies. They are countries ruled by one family. Yet they have the intelligence to start thinking of how to manufacture things. Their manufacturing industry is growing every year. Ours, we have not even started. We have no idea. The only evidence that we are involved in any form of manufacturing today is Dangote cement. That's the calcium aspect of chemistry. Oh, Dangote is already trying to make fertilizer. Yes, fertilizer again is coming from gas. Believe it or not, fertilizer is coming from gas. Because to produce fertilizer, you need nitrogen. To produce fertilizer, you need hydrogen. Hydrogen doesn't exist in the Earth's atmosphere because it's too light. The physics of it is that hydrogen will escape into the atmosphere because the Earth doesn't have enough gravitational force to retain hydrogen because it's the lightest element on the periodic table. But we need it to produce fertilizer. And where do you get it from? Because that hydrogen only exists in other materials as a compound. It doesn't exist as an element by itself. It is the most abundant element in the universe. But right here within the Earth, it doesn't exist by itself unless in very trace element and in other compounds. So where do we now get hydrogen for if we want to make fertilizer? It is inside that gas again. Gas is ubiquitous. Anything you want to talk about industry, gas is the center of gravity. The gas that you will get, you remove the hydrogen from it, add nitrogen to it, you get ammonia. So from there you synthesize into urea. And urea is the fertilizer that we use to grow our crops. That can be made in Nigeria. Dangote is already making it. I'm happy. Thank God. I'm not a fan of Dangote because he's a monopolist. But like they say, the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. I applaud him because now he has developed a plant that can produce fertilizer. And I hear that by this year, 2026, he's going to produce so much that he will start exporting fertilizer. That is a plus for us. But Dangote alone cannot do it. We need government to encourage other Nigerian entrepreneurs, not Chinese, not Indians, not Lebanese, Nigerians. Nigerians. Because when Nigerians make profit, the profit remains in Nigeria. Dangote is making profit, the profit remains in Nigeria. He's investing in Nigeria. Chinese will not invest in Nigeria. Indians will not invest in Nigeria. Lebanese will not invest in Nigeria. They get all the contracts. We are killing ourselves. We ought to focus on Nigerians. You cannot claim that Nigerians are dubious and they are evil, and if you give them money, they run away with the money. Anybody that runs away with money should be arrested and prosecuted, even if it belongs to your party. I mentioned just now that UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, they're not democracies, they are monarchies, and they are doing very well. They are even talking about investing in AI. And artificial intelligence requires so much electricity. Nigeria, constant power is only about 3,000 megawatts. Installed capacity about 7,000 megawatts. But what we use constantly is just about 3,000 megawatts. So we have not even started yet. I've said it before that we can start independent power plants right here in Nigeria, starting from the south. Eventually, by the time we start importing iron ingots and we have plants that can make plates, we can roll the plates into pipes and pipe gas from here to anywhere in Nigeria. In the north, where industries can flourish in the north also. We flourish in the north central, in the far north. We flourish here in the south. We flourish in the east. We flourish in the west. We flourish everywhere in Nigeria because gas can go everywhere. What we lack now is government that can plan just the way the Chinese government planned for China. Just the way the government of Saudi Arabia is planning for Saudi Arabia. Just the way the government of India is planning for India. The way the government of Qatar is planning for Qatar. We are behind Egypt. We are behind Algeria. We are behind Morocco in terms of industrial development. We are behind South Africa. We don't even count anywhere. Yet, we have 250 million people. We have the largest gas reserve. We have the largest oil reserve. What are we doing with our potential? I challenge government again to come and sit down and start planning. You cannot execute what you don't dream of. You have to dream of it. You have to say in 3 years' time, this is where I want Nigeria to be. And you bring out your plans and be honest with yourself and try to execute it. I remain your advocate for the industrial development of Africa. The process, I believe, will begin here in Nigeria. My name is Dr. Caesar Osahene Iyayi. Until next time, bye-bye.